William Ying. Welcome to the show, and thank you for coming on today.
Thank you for having me. Good afternoon.
Absolutely.
Good afternoon.
And William, if you don't mind, just for our viewers who are getting caught up to speed or may not have heard your company before, who is Benchmark and what are you doing in the cannabis space?
Benchmark is currently listed on the CSE, and we are a licensed producer, and we received our cultivation license in October 2017, and last year we have received the sales license, and our main production facilities is in Peachland, British Columbia, and which is indoor growing 14,000 square feet indoor housing, and we are currently on the 20 acres owned land, and we are looking at the phase 2 expansion. And on top of that, our second production is a greenhouse facility is under construction. It's at the Pitt Meadows, British Columbia, and it's about 5 acres land and 4 acres of a greenhouse space.
Very nice. And you've got your production facilities that are currently growing, and you're building it to increase it as well. When it comes to what area you're attacking in the cannabis space, are you going to have the best flower? Are you going into oils? Are you going to some sort of derivative market? What sets you aside from the rest of the competition?
Oh, yes. Our vision is looking at the cannabis therapeutic benefits, and which is, for example, pain, stress, depression, or sleeping. And any products we derive from them, this is under our development business plan. So it can be flour, can be oil, but we saw that the high margin is nutraceutical, and if economically making sense, we are going after this pharmaceutical.
Gotcha. Yeah, sleep deprivation is definitely going to be a big one, I think, when it comes to cannabis, where there's a lot of companies, or I shouldn't say a lot, there's some companies going into that and trying to really figure out what cannabinoids are the best ones for that, how does that work, because I think a lot of people will turn to those types of solutions when it comes to whether it's sleep, whether it's pain or inflammation. They're looking for a non-opiate to use, so it'll be very interesting to see where you can go with that.
And I believe the majority of the consumer is looking at non-so psychoactive benefit, and the wellness. And this is our tagline: is health awareness. So, and I believe this the market of consumer is much bigger than adult use for recreational, and we are looking at which product line and what segment will be the most profitable, and whether it's a Canadian or overseas. This is always in our strategic planning department.
William, congratulations on attracting the Honorable James Moore to your board of directors recently. I think that's quite a coup for you, and he probably had many other opportunities to join in this particular corporate space. So I think that's quite a kudo for your company.
Oh, thank you very much. Yes, I believe this Mr. James Moore, Honorable James Moore, come on board with adding great benefits and reputation to strengthen our board, and also his background and policy vision will actually bring us to the ever-changing cannabis policy and regulation. And we trust him, and we like him to bring each time there's a policy, there's a direction, and his network will greatly benefit our strategic development. And then thank you very much. And I believe that our shareholders see that and really feedback positively.
I think it's also reflective of your maturing company as well to attract greater members to the board as you grow and become a larger entity.
Yes, yes. Execution is one thing, and throughout the year, we're working on our fundamentals, and because we execute the fundamental bit by bit, that actually our direction and vision fits Mr. Morse and other interesting employee and staff from various segments and come to join us. And you probably will see more and more coming up. I will let you know, and everybody knows our progress and the execution.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and William, you maybe the market's responding to it over the last couple of days, or at least anticipating it, because your stock has been on a wild ride since it first began, and it seemed to have found a floor around the just above 20 cents or so. But these last few days, you've had a really strong upswing in your stock price. Is this because of the different things that you're doing recently? What do you think is behind the increased volume, but also the increased share price? It's almost doubled in the last week or so.
The double is versus what we experienced the last September. I think the general market and what's happening between US and China, overall the market is weak, and the people are trying to rebalance their portfolio. I agree. And I believe that before the last September, so that is what we usually trading at. So this month, returning to the previous level that we feel that's normal, and I think there are a lot more room to grow, and Mr. Moore's participation to our independent director definitely will help and give the confidence to the shareholders.
William, what kind of message are you, just to elaborate further, what kind of message are you offering to investors for your outlook corporately for 2019, if you could expand on that a little bit for us?
A few points, and our production capacity is gonna expand, and we already have a few harvests, and we have inventory, and we are able to sell to our other licensed producers, and we are developing the new products, and that part is definitely will give us revenue momentum, and our initiative to outside Canada, for example, the Europe, we have established a few partnerships in Europe, Spain and Germany and other places. And I think the future is brighter, and our execution will prove it's going to be a good company at this level. And this is great value for this great value at this stock price.
Great, thank you.
No, yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, because a lot of investors right now, we were actually just speaking just before you came on the show, the importance of really finding quality companies, finding companies that are, yes, they're doing marketing and all that. You need to get your name out there, but are really focusing on the core fundamentals of their company, making sure that they're not just okay for today, they're okay for Q2, Q3, 2020 and beyond. And it sounds like that's what you're planning on doing over the next little while. For investors throughout the next little while, I know we just went through the message that you're sending to investors, but if you were to pick one thing, what are you most excited about your company in 2019? What is the main focal point?
Probably will be our sales and our new facility completion and our capacity increase. And we have a steady and quality product to present it to the general public.
I appreciate it very much. Well, William, if people were to look into more, I mean, probably about 15 minutes or so we were going on here, but if they wanted to spend some more time and find out all the different things that you're doing, where can they turn to? Website, investor presentation?
Oh, well, your website definitely yours. Midas definitely provide a very timely and accurate information to the general public. And then I have a few, and I always go back to Health Canada, and there's up-to-date regulation updates. And the other, a few new cannabis ventures, marijuana business, they are all great information source. And the problem is too much. And I hope everybody have know. And so that's why we go back to Health Canada's website and any changes, and we know and immediately and where to make a right judgment decision.
Absolutely. And for any investors who are looking for a little bit more as well, you can find them on the CSE. BBT is the ticker.
Yes, correct.
Well, thank you very much for coming on the show. We appreciate your time very much.
My pleasure.
Nice to speak to you, William.